Tell me how big my lead is now.
13 seconds, bud. 13-second lead.
Okay, it's a white flag here,
What am I
guys.
looking for, Bob?
Six car.
Okay, now the 29 car is in second place, and he is another 13 seconds back. All Carl has to do is just make sure this thing will come around to the finish.
Lead. 10-second lead now, bud.
Final lap for Carl Edwards, who has led the most laps, trying to coast home with yet another win in 2008.
He's going to make it, guys.
Off of turn
Here he
4.
comes.
Out of turn 4.
Great job. It's running out right now. It's running out right now. We're out again.
Carl Edwards gets his 9th win of the year, and Jimmy Johnson makes history as a 3-time consecutive NASCAR Sprint Cup champion.
Yeah, baby.
These are two great teams executing their plan perfectly. Man, that's just unbelievable.
Yep, great job. And 8 Sprint Cup champion. Repeat, baby. Ah! Woo! Way to go, guys. Damn, that's awesome. I'm proud of you guys. Awesome year, boys.
And now Chad Knaus can take a breath.
What a great season Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus have had.
Jimmy, only the second driver. There he comes out of turn 4, and Denny Hamlin will take the white flag 1.5 miles away. And there is Jimmy Johnson 1 lap away from making history. So Denny Hamlin will come down the back straightaway, and barring incident, Hamlin will come down and take the checkered flag for his 4th win in 2009. But folks, the story is history being made by a driver, Jimmy Johnson. There comes Hamlin. Open up the history books, folks. On a November night in 2009, Jimmy Johnson is a 4-time Cup winner.
Believe it. History, boys. No one ever. Thank you. Chad, you rock, brother.
My friend, that's all you. Thank you very much, man. I love you, brother. Mr. Hendrick, buddy, we really wish you were here with us today. We really wish you were here to celebrate, but we understand what it's all about.
Lap. There it is. Just one more circuit.
One good lap.
Nothing any of these guys can do. That hammering you hear is the sound of the nail of the final coffin on the Chase contenders' hopes of upsetting Jimmy Johnson.
Got a lot of champagne. Half a lap, bud.
Carl Edwards is going to win the race, but coming through turns 3 and 4, the championship is going to go to Jimmy Johnson. And if you don't think he's going to be one of the greatest, think
You're
again.
looking at the 5-time champion.
You're looking at him.
Repair. Yeah, they've overcome a lot tonight on pit road. They had a mistake, or actually a problem with their pit socket. They had a hole in the grill. But Tony Stewart
White flag here, white flag. Bring it home.
Final lap. Stewart and Edwards, 1st and 2nd. Winner takes the championship.
It's just the most incredible run I've ever seen out of a race car driver, what Tony Stewart has done in this chase and tonight.
Yeah, I think it's the best driving I've ever seen, and Carl Edwards did an incredible job too, but this is the man right here, Tony Stewart.
2002, he was the champion. 2005, he was the champion, those driving for someone else. This time, he's an owner driver, and he's going to become a 3-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion. Tony Stewart wins it.
So we got it.
We got it. We got the tiebreaker, baby. Awesome job.
A tearful Darian Green.
Doesn't think about it. He knew he was in a battle for the 3rd spot. All of a sudden, the doors open for him to finish 2nd in the points.
With all they've accomplished, almost unfathomable that Hendrick Motorsports has never won at this Homestead Miami Speedway. They are one lap away as the captain has showed up in his team's pit down from the top of the tower for the final lap. Jeff Gordon leading the race. Brad Keselowski in charge of the championship. After what has been, it's fair to say, one of the more tumultuous weeks of his storied NASCAR Sprint Cup career, checkered flag and a win at Homestead for Jeff Gordon.
I'm proud of you guys. That was awesome.
And the checkered flag and a NASCAR Sprint Cup championship for Penske Racing and Michigan's Brad Keselowski.
We did it, boys. We did it. Great job. What an awesome season.
His own. White flag is up, final lap. Remember, it was in the last race in 2010 when Denny lost the championship to Jimmy Johnson that a lot of folks thought broke his stride for the following year. Had a tough year in 2011. Now Denny's going to end 2013 if nothing goes wrong in this final half lap with a win that just might set him on his stride heading into 2014 after a tough year this year.
Yeah, very well could. What a great performance they've had here today.
Dominated the second half of the race along with Dale Jr., held him off at the end. Checkered flag, career win 23, Denny Hamlin, your winner at Homestead Miami Speedway. Matt Kenseth will finish second, and here he comes, champion for the sixth time, it's Jimmy Johnson.
2013, excuse me. Yes, yes, yes! Thank you guys. What a race team. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
One lap left to go in the season. We're on the last lap.
One more now, one more.
If the caution comes out now, the race is over. Newman trying to stay with Harvick, trying to find a way around him. 2 more corners to go to a championship for Kevin Harvick. He's going to do it. He's going to win the race and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. California's Kevin Harvick does it.
One more time around. Kyle Busch missed the first 11 races of the season with a broken leg and a broken foot after an accident at Daytona.
It's by 20.
Down the backstretch. His closest competitor, just a dot in the rearview mirror. Through 3 and 4. No one has battled through as much pain and had as much perseverance as 30-year-old Kyle Busch. Tonight he earns his first Cup title. Kyle Busch, the 2015 NASCAR Sprint Cup champion. Coming back into the restart zone. Great restarts by both the 48 and the 22. Kyle Larson drops back to second, but he fights back on the outside. Here comes the 4. Kevin Harvick racing that 22 hard.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Jimmy Johnson out front. They've passed the overtime line.
You know, half lane higher.
Larson looking to the high side. This time by.
Perfect lap.
White flag in the air. One more time around from Miami. Jimmy Johnson has never won at Homestead Miami Speedway, but he's never been in a position where he's had to win for a championship. Down the backstretch he goes. A half a lap away from the championship. Jimmy Johnson through 3 and 4. Make room. Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. There's another 7-time champ. Jimmy Johnson wins his 7th NASCAR Sprint Cup championship.
You are looking at 7-time champion, Sprint NASCAR champion, Jimmy Johnson. I don't even know what to say. Jimmy Johnson, man, I am so proud of you. So proud of you. You're a good man. You're a great champion. Now you're a 7-time champion, brother.
The final lap. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. The gap still a half a second. Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch running 1 and 2. For the final time, they'll go down the backstretch. Martin Truex Jr., 12 years in the Cup Series, and his roller coaster career is finally reaching the peak, putting an exclamation point on a near perfect season. Martin Truex Jr. is the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series champion.
He approaches the final turn. It's about a 270-degree radius corner. It's banked, maybe 10, 15 degrees, a third of a mile around. Tim Richmond going after win number 2. When he crosses the finish line, Tim Richmond will be 2 for 2, batting 1,000 in 1987. Here comes Tim Richmond. He's a winner again.